გამარჯობა.
ვინ ახარ?
მე ირაკლი ვარ.
იცი სად მოხვედი?
ქართულ ნაციონალურ ანსამბლში.
მე მოიხსენე ეგ საყურე.
ეს ახალი ბიჭი ძალიან სტრაიგურა.
ანუ ჩემზე უკეთესად საკვავს, ხო?
ბიჭო, არ არის ეს საქმე შენთვის, რატო ვერ გაიგე კაცო შენ რა?
შენი ძმა ახლახანს მოვიდა.
ხო, ავრორა ვინც მადლობას წერა.
მათქო იმას ხო?
მამო. ომტია ბიჭო, გაუშვი.
3, 4, ბავშვი. თავარ ანსამბლში ჭირდებათ ერთი მოცეკვავე.
გასავად. შესარჩევები როდის იქნება?
ძალიან მალე იქნება.
არასწორად აკეთებ. მუხზე ცუდად ეცემი და იტკენო, ვეღარ იცოდი.
ქართული საკვავ კაცობაზეა დაფუძნებული.
So congratulations on your wonderful movie And Then We Dance, which we
Thank you.
really actually loved. And thank you for talking to us, because I know it's a busy time. You're just back from Sundance, and you're just about to launch the screening, the theatrical release here in the US. So can we just start with you telling us briefly what your movie is about without giving it all away?
The film is set in Georgia, the country, in the city of Tbilisi, and it's about a young dancer called Merab, who is dancing in the Georgian National Ensemble, and he wants to rise in the ranks of this ensemble. And one day, a new boy starts at this dance company who becomes his fiercest rival, but also his love interest, which sort of complicates things.
So you're also the writer as well as the director. So
Yeah.
Eleven, where did this story come from? What inspired you in this story?
Back in 2013, 50 people in Tbilisi in Georgia tried to hold what was supposed to be Georgia's first Pride Parade.
Yeah.
And they were attacked by a counter demonstration of 20,000 people organized by the Georgian Orthodox Church, together with other far right groups and also conservative groups. And it was pretty brutal. 12 people were injured. This was all over the news. I saw it in Sweden where I live, and I felt like, okay, this is very, appalling and sad. So I decided to go to Georgia and just research this subject. So I never had an idea that, I want to make a film about a dancer who falls in love, blah, blah, blah. I just went there researching, and then this film very organically grew out of my research. Because I wanted to make something hopeful.
Yeah.
And something beautiful from all this darkness, something that celebrates culture and tradition, the thing that these people say that they're, guarding from becoming, too degenerate and too, from losing its core. And I wanted to make a film about that and show, I love that culture too. And so do these characters in the film, even if they're LGBTQ, and they are entitled to interpret their culture and their tradition, because they're also Georgian in any way that they see fit. Nobody can decide for somebody else that, you need to, tick these boxes in order to be considered Georgian, this sort of narrow view of what masculinity is, for instance. And that was, what was on my mind while I was making this film.
Yeah. To our knowledge, you are the first Georgian, I know Swedish as well, filmmaker to make an LGBTQ story.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're the first one.
Is. Yeah. I mean, I think there has been one before that was super, super subtle.
Yeah, they're gonna hate you now because you've set a very high bar. Yeah. So talk us through your casting process, because you cast two newbies who both dance like angels, but they put in highly nuanced performances that won several awards, and they had great chemistry together.
Yeah, so actually the lead actor, Levan Akini, I found him on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah, while I was doing research, I was interviewing people, and they were his friends, so then the algorithm suggested, this guy might be interesting, and then you might know him, they have these boxes. And the thing is, by then I knew that I wanted to have dance in the film somehow, and I saw that he was a contemporary dancer. So I asked my casting agent to reach out to him, which she did. And he was very reluctant, of course, because of the theme, and, he lives in Georgia. So, but then, he got interested, and we did a teaser, and he really liked working on that, and then he was on board. And the other lead, Bachi, who plays Irakli, he actually is an actor. He had never done film, but
yeah.
he'd been in theater, and he came to an audition. I just really liked them and their chemistry. So yeah, that's how it developed.
I know you encountered quite some few problems when you tried to screen the film there, but did you encounter many problems when you actually filming the film?
Yeah, many.
You did?
Many. Yeah, we had to have lifeguards on set.
Were you scared?
I was never scared.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I got more angry of, because we would lose so we had like a fake story that we would tell people that we were filming. We said that we were doing a film about a French tourist who moves to who visits Georgia and falls in love with the culture. But then inevitably it still spread what we were doing, because in some locations we're controlled by the municipality of Tbilisi, and we had to tell them what we were doing, and they would never say like, oh, you can't film here because you're making a queer movie. They would be like, oh, we're suddenly renovating, or so it really pissed me off. I had to be very flexible all the time. We would lose location on a day's notice, and it was just like it was a pretty messy shoot and a hard shoot.
And your cinematographer is anonymous because he's scared of his future.
The choreographer.
Choreographer.
Yeah. Because he wouldn't get jobs anymore if they knew he'd make this film. But we have another choreographer too, a girl called Natya Chikvadze, and she is not anonymous, and she did the contemporary dance, so it was obviously easier for her to have her name on the project.
Levin, you've got a lot of media coverage on what happened to the outrage when you try to screen it. What I'm interested in, how did the local LGBT community welcome your film? How did they react to the film?
They really welcomed it, and they loved it. And I must say, like, most of Georgia has been super positive and super supportive of him, even media and everything. It's just these, loudmouth people that scream the loudest who have, made a lot of noise.
Yeah.
But other than them, I mean, we've, even reached a lot of people who were sort of homophobic by default before. Like, I get messages from friends who brought their grandmothers and grandfathers to see the film, and they loved it, and they were crying throughout and everything. So it's really been like a very emotional experience for me, and I think it's made a difference. It sort of leapfrogged the topic in Georgia 10 years.
You think it will help the situation maybe in Eastern Europe?
Oh, I already know. I don't know about Eastern Europe, but I know that in Georgia it has already helped a lot.
So you were Sweden's official submission for Best Foreign Picture, and next month you're launching the film in the UK. What's next for you? Or for the film, rather?
Oh, for the film, I mean, I've been traveling with this film and doing promotion with it since May, since Cannes. So for me,
which was a great surprise to you. Was it a great surprise to you how wonderful it was received in Cannes?
Yeah, I mean, we had a 15-minute standing ovation.
Amazing.
I was shocked. And
congratulations.
Thank you so much. No, it was insane. No. But so I'm actually, after premiering in England and doing promotion there, I'm really happy to let this film just sail away on its own, and for me to move on to other things, because it's been a long journey with this film.
Do we ever be tempted to make another film with an LGBT storyline?
Of course.
But
I don't see it as like, oh, it's an LGBT. I mean, I have lots of stories I want to tell, and many of them happen to be, queer in some way. So definitely, I think my next movie will also be.
Can we talk about that, or is it still?
It's very early days. I'm like now starting to do research, and I am. It's going to be set in Istanbul. So I'm going to go there and do research this spring. So it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, because you don't look Swedish.
No. So the thing is, I was born and raised in Sweden, but my parents are Georgian.
Yeah. So let's finish off with, do you have a message for the Georgian LGBT community now you've shared their experience?
My message to them would be like, keep on fighting the good fight. I mean, you guys are doing an amazing job, and you're so brave. And I'm very glad that this film somehow could, bolster you and support you in your quest for visibility and acceptance in Georgia.
Okay, thank you for talking to us, and
thank you
for a wonderful film.
Thank you.
არასწორად აკეთებ. მუხზე ცუდად ეცემი და იტკენ და ვეღარ იწება.
ქართული ცეკვა ვაშკაცობაზეა დაფუძნებული. სისუსტის ადგილი არა.